Café Anyway. Here we are.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to Café Anyway, somewhere in podCastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica. We got some interesting topicas. It's FF episode
Daily Podcast.
FF episode 2913 2913. And Mike Matthews, how are you? I'm good. Thanks for asking. We are doing a podcast looking at things like inflation, because people don't like that in the nation. The U.S. inflation rate hit a 40-year high after the pandemic.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
But since has cooled significantly due to factors like the Federal Reserve rate hikes. The year-over-year
Mike's
inflation rate
Daily
sits at
Podcast.
2.5%.
Yeah!
As of, August of this year, which is still above the target rate of 2%. Various factors such as the war in Ukraine, labor shortages, this drives this higher than average inflation. Despite the country not meeting its target yet, it's possible the Federal Reserve could cut interest rates further. And you know, that's all from Wallet Hub. But they have a big influence, the Federal Reserve. But inflation rates differ across the U.S. To determine how inflation is impacting people in different parts of the country, Wallet Hub compared 23 major metropolitan statistical areas across two key metrics related to the Consumer Price Index, which measures inflation. And what they found was, what's at the bottom of the list? Let's start there. Their list is of 23 cities in states. At number 23 is Anchorage, Alaska. It has a total score of 13.16 as their score. And
here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture is not of Alaska, although I did go there years ago. But it's of a recent picture. Yes, years ago I went there with my grandma and my dad. We went on a cruise ship and we went to a beautiful Glacier Bay, and the most incredible experience I ever had. My dad certainly reminisced about it often, and I took slides. For pictures, I took slides because slide projectors were still a thing in the early 80s. And that was a mistake because they didn't hold well. They didn't last. So, too bad I didn't have a digital camera back there in the early 80s. The late great Basil the Boxer never went to Alaska as far as I know. Well, I had him anyway for the 11 years that I had him. But let's see, we'll do a podcast picture of possibly cats or Lake Chabot or something in podCastro Valley. See it at mikesdailypodcast.com. Let's go with the top 5. The top 5 biggest inflation, cities with the biggest inflation problems. Number 5 would be New York, as you would expect. Let's see, at number 4 is Honolulu in Hawaii. Number 3, Detroit, Michigan. Number 2, Chicago, Illinois. And at number 1, is it San Francisco? Is it San Francisco? Is it San Francisco? No, it's not even a city in the state of California. What? In fact, we have to go all the way down to number 6, just before the top 5, and it's not even San Francisco, it's San Diego. From San Diego to Carlsbad, they include that entire area. That's got the worst inflation in the country, but just outside of the top 5.
Now that's legit.
If you go down to number 11, do you have San Francisco? Do you have San Francisco, the worst city on the planet? Because you listen to all those right-wing talk show hosts and they complain about San Francisco? Nope. It's Los Angeles. And they also include Long Beach and Anaheim, home of Disneyland. All there. How about number 19? Is number 19 San Francisco? Is San Francisco? Yes, it is actually number 19, which also includes Hayward, which is right next to me here in podCastro Valley, and Oakland. So it includes a couple of cities in that assertion. So there you go. But what is number one? Mike, it's not in California. What is it? It's Minneapolis, Minnesota. Isn't that just where they had the Republican convention? Well, look at that. What a surprise. The video in my wonderful video land, it is the video at facebook.com/Mike's Daily Podcast. It's in black and white, and it looks like I'm inside of a ripped book of poetry. See it at mikesdailypodcast.com.
I can't believe. What the hell is this place anyway?
It's Café Anyway. Yes, check out that link there. So that was from Wallet Hub. Very interesting stuff. Are you someone that goes shopping and enjoys buying all these prices at inflated prices? Here's some shopping etiquette that people apparently, grocery store etiquette, signs that you're a bad customer include if you block the aisle. People think they can park their carts wherever they please, creating an obstacle course in the aisles. This according to the people at Spicy Chefs, thespicychefs.com. That's definitely wrong. Shopping at closing time. What's wrong with that? Some of us have jobs. We can't get out early enough. But that it says here that means you have no respect for the employees if you shop at closing time. I have tremendous respect for the employees. In fact, I get the heck out of there. I go in and get out. And it's also a good way to get in and out quickly, because usually the mass exodus of shoppers has already happened. It says they have a life outside of the supermarket too. If you're desperate for a last minute run into the shop, don't dawdle and apologize to the cashier for keeping them past closing time. All right. Hogging the shelf. Those customers who loiter in the aisles at Café Anyway and create awkward shelf blockages are being ignorant. If you run into your friend, don't have your conversation while blocking the shelves, because people need to see what's going on. I shopped at 2 stores today as we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast. Somewhere in PodCastro Valley, the last place on earth. I was at Safeway earlier today. That is huge in the Bay Area and for a huge chunk of California and a couple other states. And there was a point where I was shopping with my lovely lady friend, and I will tell you this right now, I was not in the mood. I was not in the mood. I was really tired, did not sleep well. I'm shopping with her. She's asking me a bunch of questions. I'm like, I don't care. Just grab whatever. And at one point I look and there's a lady going, can I get to the, I'm sorry. I hate that. I hate when I'm not aware of my surroundings. I get really annoyed by people who are not aware of their surroundings and they don't read the room and they don't realize when they have...
Mr. Matthews.
Children, listen to me. Don't grow up to be this person. Children. There is a time when the conversation is over. If you're talking to someone and you're doing all the talking and you're not allowing that person you're talking to respond in any way, well, now you are holding that person is not a listener. They are a hostage. They're being held against their will. They're being forced to listen against their will. You, my friend, are rude. Wait, I don't mean the podcast listener. The one listener I have to mikesdailypodcast.com. I didn't mean it. You're not rude. But you know what I'm saying? Those people are rude. Those people. That's the 2 words you're not supposed to say in this world. Those people. But you can when it comes to this. Be aware. Be a little bit more aware. That's all we're saying. Aware. And don't loiter. Pull full carts through the express lane. Come on, people. Don't take a week's worth of groceries through the lane with the 12-item limit. Well, of course I wouldn't do that. But sometimes when I go to Costco, I buy a lot of stuff. Unless you're at Costco, snacking while shopping is a big no-no. Cashiers don't want to handle your half-eaten muffins. And technically, it's stealing if you haven't purchased the item yet. That's what my mom used to do. You know what she used to steal, though?
You ready?
I'm ready to tell you. It's walnuts. She'd take the walnuts, and they used to, I don't see this anymore, but there used to be a huge pile of walnuts still in the shell. And she would take them and just hit them really hard on any hard surface she could find, and then start eating them like they were free or something. She wouldn't even pay for it. She'd just grab one and eat it right there in the store. Dang. Another wonderful memory of my mom. Oh, she had some funny things. Now, this is now in the 70s, so I don't know if that was a thing to do in the 70s. But maybe that was just Mom being a thief. Sometimes you need to give an avocado a gentle squeeze to know if it's ripe for guacamole, but there's a limit. Other people don't want to purchase bruised peaches or tomatoes either, so don't handle all the produce. Leave it alone. Throwing unwanted items on the wrong shelf. That's right. What are you doing taking that bag of chips and leaving it in the cooler with the ice cream? That's not a good thing. Those chips are not going to be edible anymore. It's wasteful and lazy. Stop it. Not you, the listener, my only listener that I have, but the people that we're talking about. Those people. Don't leave garbage in your cart. Oh, we have such a problem. And this is not just a Bay Area problem. It's all over the place now. All over the country now.
Wow, that's wild.
Wow, that's wild. It is all of these people, those people, well, you know, they take the shopping cart and they go off with it, and they take it and they put their livelihood in there, and that now they're living out of the shopping cart, and that's a thing, and that's a problem, and I am going to be more sensitive from the rest of the sentence on, and that's a thing. But then these shopping carts get left behind. They get left in all sorts of interesting areas, and it is not an appealing look. And there are people that will go and collect those shopping carts if there is not someone's personal items in there, their livelihood. But let's just say if they're just abandoned shopping carts, which I've had in front of my house from time to time, and I found I think you can call them through whoever does your local sanitation, whoever's your people that get your garbage people. That's the appropriate name. Those people, the garbage people. Yeah, they'll go.
Bison Bentleys. Do you know that?
Hey, this is Bison Bentley, and Mike Matthews has a couple of stories that'll make you want to ask yourself, do you know Dad? Do you know Dad?
Do you know Dad? One last final thing about etiquette at the grocery store. Don't argue with the cashier about prices. Cashiers must love it when they get blamed for inflation when it's completely out of their control. If you're a grumpy shopper, my dad, now let's talk about the other parent. Dad used to do that. Oh my gosh. And inflation did get really bad in the 70s, I will recall, under Jimmy Carter. Yes, a Democrat president. And Dad went ballistic a couple times. What? It costs that much? I remember when it was a penny. If you're a grumpy shopper because the price of your milk went up, remember that the cashier probably isn't happy about that either, because they also got to buy the groceries. And don't be one of these people that do not return your basket to the basket holding area, your cart. It's the last step that makes many people crazy, and a lot of people don't seem to make this last step. If everyone just took the extra minute to return their buggy or basket to its appropriate spot, return their cart, the world would be a better place. Oh, they are. That is ridiculous.
Do you have any safe spaces?
Safe spaces?
Yes, where people can go to get away from the colonialist mentality. As long as there's a diversity, equity, and inclusion policy, we'll be fine.
There are safe spaces. There are safe spaces for those carts. There are conveniently built shelters in the parking lots to house shopping carts. And it's pretty straightforward to park them there. All right? All right. That's right. Tell your friends that are the annoying ones, to do it. And do not complain if you're being told you got to go back into the office. Amazon said it'd require corporate workers to be in the office 5 days a week starting in January. Why? Oh, my God, people crying, people just gnashing of teeth, taking to the social media, going nuts. How could you? What? In a memo, CEO Andy Jassy said the company was returning to how we were before the onset of COVID. Jassy also said the company would shed some middle managers by the end of March. Probably the ones that are whining and complaining about coming back to work. The rule further tightens the requirement from last year that workers be on site at least 3 days a week. That extenuating circumstances and senior leader approved exceptions would continue.
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Would be accommodated. Well, I am using the mic, and my name is Mike, and it's Mike's Daily Podcast, sir. But I'm sorry someone tried to take a shot at you over the weekend. That was inappropriate. But oh my gosh, so what a day Monday was, because you had in the early hours Trump blaming the shooter that didn't actually get to shoot, thankfully, blaming the shooter for doing what he did, hiding in that bush for 12 hours or whatever it was. And I've heard all these right-wing sycophants on the radio echoing this and taking it to a level I don't think Trump even expected. But oh my gosh, this idiocracy going on. So blaming all of that on Kamala, which I knew he would do.
Note to self.
Note to self. Republicans will blame Kamala for everything and anything that's ever happened. They stubbed their toe on the bed this morning trying to get back into bed after going to the bathroom. That's Kamala's fault because she moved the bed. What was the deal with that? Oh my gosh, the things I hear the right-wing talk show hosts say, it's just I can't listen anymore. I need them to stop being such sycophants and shills. And stop with because every reason they come up with for voting for Trump. I mean, I can understand. Okay, the tax credits are going to end. The tax whatevers are going to end. And if Trump, who started these tax rules, goes back to office and is able to fix it, it might be easier for him to do than a Democrat. I understand. There might be some rules when we get into the weeds about everything. But no, it's all surface crap. It's all this tabloid National Enquirer stuff people are complaining about. And blaming the guy who was about to take a shot at Trump for doing that because he was listening too much to Kamala, listening too much to Biden. Yet then Biden called up Trump to say, are you okay, man? Is everything all right? You didn't see how he was. And Trump really appreciated it. I don't think he poured him a root beer, but I'm pouring that for you right now. And Trump he's appreciated. He said that was very nice of Biden to do that. And there was some civilness happening, civility going on. And people were remembering how to say words correctly. And it was wonderful. And we were all getting along. But then all of a sudden, it's back to the fighting and the biting and the ridiculous language. It's just ridiculous. It's got to stop. And it's only going to stop after the election day. And then it's going to continue. It's going to stop for a second and then it'll continue. But oh my gosh, I can't wait till this election year is over with. Because I'm sure this is a thing for both parties. They both want to be back in power. And some are going to say whatever. I'm hearing a lot more of it from the right-wing side. But wow. I know it's there on the left as well. And it's got to stop on both sides. But this whole Trump saying...
Try to game me. No.
About that. Saying that kind of thing. See, we need more laughter. We need the politicians to just laugh more.
God, man.
Aren't we acting silly?
Jeez.
We're just acting silly. We sure acted silly in 2024. What was wrong with us? What was that all about? And hopefully we can all calm down and dial down the rhetoric, as they say. But wow. So it was funny. In the morning, on Monday, Trump blaming Biden and Kamala. Then Biden called and talked to Trump and said, sorry, that was bad. Biden said in a speech on Monday, there's no room for this in America. This absolutely renounced it, absolutely put it down. Not one iota of this or that. And then right-wing talk show hosts throughout the day were like, oh my gosh, it's all Kamala's fault. All Kamala's fault.
Mike Matthews? You not know Mike Matthews.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Eminem. We got Eminem.
Oh! I'm doing my podcast. Yeah, I'm doing my podcast right now. I'm doing the podcast outside of Café Anyway. All these people here. Well, anyway, Monday was a strange day, that's for sure. All right, so 2 of Washington's largest companies have new CEOs. One was actually moved to Washington. Boeing named Robert K. Ortberg as its new president and CEO. Boeing is laying off people because of the strike going on, and they're laying off people, and it's just bedlam over there. So Robert moved from his home in Florida to Seattle rather than Boeing's headquarters in Virginia. And he bought a $4.1 million home in Seattle's Broadmoor community. This, according to thecentersquare.com. And now, let's see. The move to Seattle signals the company's intention to improve relations amid an ongoing strike by machinists.
Burgermaster.
No, not Burgermaster, but by machinists. However, Boeing CFO Brian West announced the company would institute a hiring freeze 4 days after the strike was initiated. Starbucks, meanwhile, hired Brian Nicole as its CEO back in August, around the same time as Ortberg. Robert Ortberg took up the CEO role at Boeing. Unlike Ortberg, Nicole is not moving to Seattle, where Starbucks headquarters is located. Instead, he agreed to commute from his residence in Newport Beach, California. If you ever make it to California, do check out Newport Beach if you are in the Southern California area, even though inflation is really high in there, but it's not in the top 5. And you will see Newport Beach is beautiful. Houses on the water, sailboats everywhere, beautiful sunshine, beautiful, just, it's crowded. It's lots of traffic.
Ever since I got elected, Republicans have attacked me by saying that I should go back to bartending. But let me tell you, I'm happy to any day of the week, because there is nothing wrong with working for a living.
Thank you, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And by the way, bartending at a Starbucks is called being a barista. Starbucks is providing Nicole with a small remote office in Newport Beach at company expense, but he is subject to California's high income tax burden rate of 13.3%. But he will also get to avoid Washington's 7% capital gains tax on the sale or exchange of long-term capital assets. So that is what's happening there in the land of Seattle. Oh, and TikTok, who really controls their magic algorithm? The US-based company that runs the app, or its Chinese parent ByteDance? CNN said TikTok had just had the most important 2 hours of its life, because it had to answer that question. That bedeviled a trio of federal judges Monday, charged with deciding whether to allow the implementation of a law that could ultimately result
I don't even know what that means, but I love it.
in anarchy. It could result in TikTok being banned for all Americans. Banned. After more than 2 hours of oral arguments between TikTok and a group of content creators on one side and the U.S. government on the other, it remains how, as of this recording, as of Monday anyway, how the judges may rule. Hey, there's somebody here at Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Hello, lovely lady friend.
Hello, my love.
There's that, and look who else is here. Hello, Michael Mash, it's Madame Rootabega. I was talking to your lovely lady friend. Oh, what were you guys talking about? We were talking about capital gains tax and how much expensive the income tax is in California.
Yes.
Do you...
Fascinating conversation, madam.
That, we should really put it's not like I have just one microphone. I'm not like half those TikTok people. Here, do you want headphones or no?
No.
Do you want to just... What's going on? Point it at you. Wait, let's turn this around.
Yeah,
This makes great radio. Okay. There you are.
I'm here.
Oh, would you look at that? Another human being with a smaller creature attached to a leash.
Oh.
Hi, I'm JD Vance.
What's that?
What's that? Are you asking what kind of breed he is? For how long? For how old he is or how long I've had him? How long have you been walking? I'm sorry, are you asking how our walk? Okay, good.
Oh, this is JD Vance.
I love to mingle with the people. Here comes another one now. Hi, I'm JD Vance. How did you install those little wheels under your feet? You mean my rollerblades? Okay, good. So how long have you been walking? Walking where? Okay, good.
And the reason why Trump was shot at was because of Kamala. Anyway, Café Anyway. That was JD Vance. There he is.
He stopped by too. Was he talking to Madame Rootabega?
Yeah, Madame Rootabega. Do you like cats? Yes. Do you like cat people? Yes.
Oh, is Madame a crazy cat lady?
Do you like JD?
Oh, speaking of cats, look who's here.
Do you like to be interrupted by Madame Rootabega? No. Look who's here. Oh,
Rocky showed up.
Rocky the cat showed up. Okay, well, that you just put in my mind something of something that I was remembering suddenly. It put into my mind something.
Oh.
But at this point it is gone. Oh, no, wait, it's back. It's slightly back. And here it is slightly back. This is great podcasting radio-ish stuff. Is it in my brain or not? It's out of my brain now. Now it's gone.
This could be a game. What's in Mike's brain? What's in Mike's brain?
Wait.
What's in Mike's brain?
There could be a echoey sound. Let's see. Is this the thing that does that?
It sounded like a minion.
We're in Mike's brain.
It's cavernous.
Look at this. Wow, there's nothing here. No one's here. No one's listening to the podcast.
Love, it just means that you cultivate an inner space of silence and quiet.
And quietude.
And quietude. So that you can be grounded.
It just, I get so upset when I hear this trope over and over again about blaming the media for everything. But yet you saw on Sunday, as soon as I heard that somebody was attempting to shoot Trump, I go on all the YouTube pages for CNN. I went to the Horse Network. That was Nelly just walked by.
Hey, Nelly.
And then I went to all the right-wing leaning places like Fox and Newsmax, and nobody had anything about it. Nobody was talking about it. I'm like, okay.
Trump would be devastated.
He's like, why aren't you talking about me?
I just took another bullet.
No, thankfully there was no bullet shot. So, but yeah, and then here's what was the interesting thing was that Trump, this is what I was trying to remember that left my brain and it came back. He said on social media, which would be his Truth Social, which is a funny oxymoronic name because I don't think exactly everything he says is truth. Okay, it's back. Hold on.
Later that day.
And we're back. So Trump must have known we were talking about him on the podcast and froze everything. Okay, what I was going to say is he says that he hates Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's right.
I hate Taylor Swift. I hate her. Look who else is here. Hello, Dave Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant. And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, all of those things you said were lies about all of this day.
Yeah. Valentino's a right-wing talk show host. Do you know that? Oh, okay. You just say whatever's lies. Okay. I can't wait till election year is over with. How about you? And we don't even know what is on the ballot. We got the... Actually, we do have that. We should take a look at that here in California. I feel bad for all of you swing states because you are getting so many dang commercials. And we get just a couple of Kamala begging for money, Trump begging for money, Tim Walz. And I was telling lovely lady friend about how there should be a song out called the Harris Waltz. Because I saw that it says Harris Waltz. You know, when you have the bumper sticker, like back, a couple of years back, it was Biden, Biden Harris, Obama Biden, etc. Now it's Trump Vance. But it's Harris Waltz. So this is the Harris Waltz. It's like a dance. No?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, lovely lady friend.
I just have a cat in my back.
Oh, the cat
He
is
burrowed himself
He's looking,
in my jacket.
Looking for warmth.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think it's time to wrap this show up. Do you have anything else to add? It was great to have you stop by. You haven't been on in a long time.
I'm sorry I'm not more energetic, love. I'm a little tired.
Oh, okay.
The full moon is...
Oh, my gosh.
Sapping me of my energy.
We had a full moon on Monday night. And, because people are hearing this on Thursday. So we're talking about what happened on Monday. And people can call in. Here's the number.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline.
That's right.
Area code 510-228-4640.
That's the number to call. All right. Anything else? You want to say happy birthday?
I'm like Sarah Connor. No.
Why are you like the Terminator lady?
Because I'm getting messages from the future.
Oh. Okay.
Never mind, love. Sorry.
That makes no sense to what people are hearing right now. No. Oh, gosh. And no, ladies and gentlemen, unless somebody put pot in her inhaler for her asthma, there's no... I don't know why she's giggling so much. Wow. Okay. Well, for all things Mike's Daily Podcast, I'm turning the mic off. We go to the mainframe and we hear from A-Frame. Thanks for listening.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye.